With the continued crackdown of state and local governments over the Wuhan coronavirus, you may have missed a few shining stars that have emerged amidst this storm. We'll look at a few of them and explain how you can effectively fight back in this episode of Activate America, staying active during the COVID-19 lockdown. WalletHub did a study to rank the states from least aggressive to most aggressive in their battle to fight COVID-19. They included D.C. along with the 50 states and ranked New York as the most aggressive, followed by D.C., Alaska, Hawaii, and New Jersey. The bottom 5 include Wyoming, Alabama, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Oklahoma. This helps to highlight that only 8 states have not issued stay-at-home orders. Those 8 states are Arkansas, Iowa, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has been one of those bright shining stars among the storm. You may have seen her on Fox News explaining that because citizens are personally responsible for their own health, their families, and their communities, that mandates are not necessary. Her words are so important to hear right now as we advocate that all states should abide by their oaths to protect our rights and not fall into the authoritarian trap of thinking that state governments are free to order people around, even if they think it's for our own good. Governors are executive officials. This means that when they issue an executive order, it is binding on the executive operations they oversee within state government, and not on the people, and definitely not on the businesses or churches. But who is challenging these orders? It's state legislatures and those below them that should be doing so. If you think of the closest layer of government above you, which could be your village board, town board, or city council, then these are the folks who should be protecting you from any overreach of the layer of government above them. This is what's known as interposing. They identify the overreach and let the offending level of government know that they will not be following the offending rule, regulation, order, or law. An example of this is the Wisconsin state legislature. When Governor Tony Evers issued an executive order postponing the election, the legislature bumped up the issue to the state Supreme Court, and that court ruled against the governor. Within an hour of that ruling, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against another executive order from the governor, which had extended the deadline for absentee ballots. Now, we give the state legislators credit for this, and we eagerly await their efforts for what they will do to push back against the governor's shelter-at-home order, which violates Article 1, Section 4 of the state's constitution. Another official standing up is Sheriff Scott Nichols of Franklin County in Maine. In a Facebook post, he wrote a response to the governor's quarantine order that all visitors must quarantine themselves for 14 days or face a fine of $1,000 or 6 months in jail. Sheriff Nichols wrote, "We will not be setting up a police state, period. The sheriff's office will not purposefully go out and stop vehicles because they are on the road or stop and ask why people are out and about. To do so puts our officers at risk. This is not Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia where you are asked to show your papers." The sheriff is the highest elected office in the county. The office has the power to safeguard his constituents from all overreaching government, including the federal government. This has been upheld in the federal judicial system. This is one of the main reasons why the John Birch Society has a Support Your Local Police project. Sheriff Nichols isn't the only one speaking out, as there are others doing so, including Sheriff Darrell Wheeler and State Representative Heather Scott, both from Bonner County in Idaho. These are some bright stars, but folks, there should be more. Take these examples and pass them on to your elected officials and ask them to act accordingly. The more they know about the constitutional measures they can take, the quicker officials can start interposing and protecting your rights. An emergency declaration does not trump your rights. To help others learn, invite them to our weekly watch party on our Facebook page. We started last week in a 6-part series called The Constitution is the Solution. Each Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time, we will be hosting the watch party and answering your questions in the comments. Then set up your own watch party to introduce others to the concepts taught. Plus, if you haven't downloaded your free PDF of our Freedom is the Cure COVID-19 magazine issue, click on the link in the video description to do so. Then, freely share it with others so more Americans have the tools to cut through the hype and hysteria. Those are your recommended actions for the week. May we count on you? And until next time, this is Bill Hahn for the John Birch Society saying stay active.